Puebla, Mexico's fourth largest city, is best known for the beautiful Talavera tiles that adorn its walls, domes, and interiors, for that thick, chocolate-enriched sauce that originated here, the world-famous Mole Poblano, and for being the site of a major battle on May 5, 1862, founded in 1531. Puebla was the first settlement in Mexico that Spanish colonialists laid out in a grid pattern rather than building on top of an existing settlement. In recent decades, many of its finest buildings have been transformed into museums displaying collections of colonial art and regional crafts, as well as historical and archaeological finds from around Mexico. Juan de Palafox, Bishop of Puebla, consecrated the city's cathedral, the second largest in Mexico after the one in Mexico City, in April 1649. The pillars surrounding the large atrium are crowned by statues of angels, symbols of the town whose full name is Puebla de Los Angeles. The main altar is known as the Cypress, and behind the cypress is the altar of the kings, whose dome was painted in 1688 by Cristóbal de Villalpando. Housed in a restored 18th century hospital, this museum houses one of the country's finest collections of pre-Columbian and colonial art. An introductory room includes a timeline comparing Mesoamerican cultures with contemporary cultures from around the world. A multilingual audio-visual system provides information on the artistic techniques used and the meaning of the pieces. Located above the Casa de la Cultura and founded in 1646, the Palafoxian Library was the first public library in the Americas. For this reason, the Palafoxian Library has been included in the UNESCO Memory of the World Register. The beautiful library houses thousands of rare books on its beautifully carved cedar and white pine shelves, including one of the first dictionaries of the New World and the Nuremberg Chronicle of 1493, with more than 2,000 engravings. The Alley of Frogs, locally known as Callejón de los Sapos, is the perfect area for gift shopping. You will find small and very nice antique shops that will surprise you with the beautiful items on display for sale. At the end of the alley, every Saturday and Sunday you will find a wonderful flea market, which is organized inside the Plazuela de los Sapos. The Artists' Neighborhood is a small area immediately east of the central business district of the city of Puebla. It is a popular neighborhood with quaint cafes and studios, as well as a beautifully colored colonial plaza. Almost every corner of the cobblestone streets is adorned with artwork. Stroll through the alleys of this small area and sit in a cafe just to people watch. Parián is the largest and most unique artisan market in Puebla. It is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the city. Located in the southeast corner of the historic center of Puebla, it is surrounded by the Artists' Neighborhood. The city of Puebla is rich in culture, architecture, heritage, and gastronomy. And what about Puebla's traditional sweets? Calle 6 Orient is also known as La Calle de los Dulces or Santa Clara. This street now has a total of 40 shops, including La Gran Fama, El Lirio, and La Puebla, which have become family businesses over the years to serve the daily sweet needs of local and foreign visitors. This architecturally spectacular, monumental white museum is dedicated to the striking Baroque movement, art, fashion, music, and literature. Designed by Japanese architect Toyo Ito, the museum emerges from behind the lake 7 kilometers southwest of Puebla's main square, evoking the drama of the 17th and 18th centuries. Set aside an entire afternoon to appreciate the art and the building. The Star of Puebla is a giant Ferris wheel inaugurated on July 22, 2013. The wheel received the Guinness record for the largest portable observation wheel in the world, with a diameter of 69.8 meters and a height of 80 meters. The Star of Puebla is part of a large tourism complex. Atlixco is a town located about 40 minutes from the city of Puebla and is surrounded by volcanoes. The view of the Popocatépetl and Iztaccíhuatl volcanoes is magnificent from any angle, especially when you are just a few kilometers away. This proximity to Don Goyo, as the locals call the Popocatépetl volcano, is what makes the climate so pleasant in Atlixco, hot and warm during the spring and rainy in the summer. Climbing to the Cerro de San Miguel viewpoint allows you to have a panoramic view of Atlixco, whose name means water in the valley, where you can appreciate its natural wealth and architectural contrasts. In addition to the valley landscape, there is the 18th century San Miguel Chapel. Today, the ex-Hacienda of San Antonio, Chautla, operates as a tourist attraction where you can spend a day outdoors in a movie setting. In a space with large English-style gardens, wooded paths, a chapel, a museum and a kitchen made of Puebla Talavera, it sometimes seems like you can travel back in time and see how this domain, which had its own prison and the first power plant on the American continent, worked. It is 60 hectares where you will find a mix of history, architecture, legends and an incredible green environment to spend the day with family or friends. Before subjecting it to one of the bloodiest massacres of the conquest, Cortés called Cholula the most beautiful city outside Spain. In pre-Columbian times it had been a sacred city, a place of pilgrimage, and a large and important commercial center. The west side of Cholula's large Zocalo houses restaurants and cafes, and opposite is the fortified Franciscan convent of San Gabriel. Founded in 1529 on the site of a temple to Quetzalcoatl, the main church is a single nave with a ribbed vault and Gothic tracery. Visitors can tour the monastic kitchen, dining rooms, cloisters, and dormitories. To the left of the atrium is the Royal Chapel, built for converted Indians, which acquired its 49 mosque-like domes in the early 18th century. The Cholula Archaeological Zone is a site that is dominated by the remains of the largest pyramid ever built in Mesoamerica. At the top of the pyramid is the 1874 Church of Our Lady of Remedies. The wonderful view from the atrium encompasses Puebla, the volcanoes, and many other churches in Cholula. The magical town of Cuetzalan is one of those little towns that really does seem magical and is like a movie set. Located in the Rocky Mountains of Puebla, 3 hours from the state capital, the municipality is surrounded by beautiful coffee plantations, caves, grottos, and landscapes of mist-covered forests. It is the birthplace of one of the most emblematic birds in the country, the quetzal, hence the name Cuetzalan. It is worth mentioning that this town was founded by the Totonacs in 200 BC. Under colonial rule, it was renamed San Francisco Cuetzalan due to the cultural synergy fostered by the conquest. A trip to this mountainous region will allow you to discover the culture and traditions of the Nahuatl and Totonac peoples through a variety of ancestral rituals that are still practiced in the area, such as the flyers or the dance of the quetzals. Puebla reminds us that cities can still be centers of community and commercial life. Proud of their people, their history, and their individuality, Puebla residents see their home as a place to enjoy, not just a center for work and money. Puebla is in the midst of a cultural renaissance. A new generation has taken up traditional crafts, offering new versions, such as tiled board games or hand-embroidered clothing. Puebla also has a reputation for being a somewhat gourmet city, especially for those interested in Mexican cuisine. This makes sense, as two of Mexico's most well-known dishes, chiles en nogada and mole, originated here. many consider Puebla cuisine to be the best food in Mexico, meaning that the best foods to eat in Puebla are some of the best foods to eat in all of Mexico.